Hi everyone. Let's see. How are you doing? Happy new moon, blessed new moon to you today. I wanted to get live just to give you some tips and examples of how to really channel this really powerful energy of the Scorpio new moon. Hi Denise. Oh, this is fun. See, I never do this on my phone. And now I can see who's watching. That's so cool. Okay. So, I love Scorpio season because I'm a Pisces and I love going really deep and to some extent. But Scorpio season, it always, it's so it feels very witchy to me. And then it triggers me left and right. I'm getting triggers all day long, left and right. Like, how deep do you want to go, Maggie? And I'm like, okay, stop. And then I'm like, okay, let's go deeper. So it's like really interesting to watch myself and, hi, Denise, to watch myself and notice all these triggers arising. And, but that's a topic for another time because that it's calling for some integration every year. So we'll get into that later on. So the new moon in Scorpio. I think it's actually happening right now. That beautiful transition between the darkness and then that tiny little sliver of the new moon. And what I wanted to talk about today is that the new moon is really for planting seeds. And if you've been with me for a while, you may know I talked about this before, that we are always planting seeds. Seeds are always being planted in our bodies, right? In our subconscious too. For example, we're always planting seeds in our womb space to be birthed. It's like, I like to visualize it as this beautiful, dark, rich soil, right? That we plant seeds in to be birthed, to be grown, to be created. It can be anything, not just a baby, right? It can be projects. It can be a beautiful meal that you're cooking for your family or your friends. It can be anything. We're always creating something as women, right? But also with our speech, with our thoughts, with our feelings, our vibration, what we're vibrating out, we are always planting seeds that way too. So what a really beautiful act or practice is during the full moon is really make that an act of conscious seed planting, right? What is your intention? What do we want to experience or embody in our lives, right? A new moon. A new moon is really that moment of, let's check in with ourselves and really see, what do we want to embody? What do we want to create? What do we want to birth, right? Hi, Vida, love. This is so fun. I'm going to do this on my phone all the time now so I can see your little faces in the corner. So what I also really wanted to talk about today with you is when you think of setting intentions, it's not so much about achieving something, right? Or reaching something or setting goals. It's more about feeling into and embodying how it would feel to achieve something, how it would feel to experience being the fullest, most beautiful, radiant version of yourself. So for example, and I thought of an example to make this a little bit easier to kind of grasp, I guess. So for example, I want to expand by doing more workshops or circles or collaborations or whatever that may look like in my area, because where I live, because I feel I'm in this area for a reason, right? I live here for a reason. And that I have to share my gifts that way too, not just online. So the work that each and each and every one of us is doing is important, and it has to be spread, right? So one of the ways that I want to do that is by collaborating with cool people in my area. So that is a seed that I planted. That's something that I put out there that I want to expand into. So then look at how would it feel to host more in-person experiences? How would it feel to collaborate with more like-minded people in the physical, right? It would feel very nurturing to me. It feeds my soul because I get to connect with women more on that physical level instead of just online. It would feel very aligned, like with my purpose, right? Of spreading this spiritual knowledge, gifting other people the experience of sitting in circle and being seen, for example. That would feel so good to me. So see how I'm tapping into that feeling of how it would feel if that was already happening. Then that seed, that little intention has some time to germinate, right? And that is when we can get sudden inspirations or calls of actions just popping up into our minds. Like calls for action towards that. So one of the things that I ended up doing was just sent emails to local yoga studios and spas. There aren't that many, but still I found them, and I just introduced myself and what I wanted to collaborate on. And I mean, this is a very simple example because that's a very logical next step, right? But just for the sake of what we're talking about here, that was inspired action that I took in line with that desire, right? So I do want to mention that inspired action, that it may not always feel very logical, right? But the key here is that embodiment of your desire, how it would feel when it's already true, why you want it. As long as that starts to feel familiar and normal and like logical, like, yeah, that's what I'm here to do, right? It starts to feel a little bit logical. The inspired action will make sense after several more steps are taken sometimes, right? It's really one step at a time here. So now, to end this little example, I'm hosting a workshop at a spa, and I'm meeting with a yoga studio tomorrow, actually, tomorrow, to kind of discuss what's aligned there. And it may not lead to anything, right? But it's a call to be open, to go after these opportunities, see what's going to happen. And then, of course, we celebrate those things too. It's very important to be grateful for each little component that feeds into your desire, right? And most often, it's really fun to do that on the full moon, because the full moon is that beautiful fullness, that celebration vibe. So just a little tip there on the full moon. So going back to this new moon, so Vida says, I think that is brilliant. Thank you. So going back to this new moon, I feel it's really a time to step up, right? Scorpio, to me, is not like messing around. It's not that wishy-washy kind of feeling it out sign. It goes very deep, but it's very focused. It's like very focused energy to me. And Scorpio, it aims high, but it doesn't lose sight of that focus. So use that energy now to think about for yourself what you want to focus on, what you want to birth, what you want to grow. Vida says, how do you recommend tending to any fear that comes with embodiment action? Oh, it says the connection was lost for a little bit there. So Vida says, how do you recommend tending to any fear that comes up around embodied action? So for any fear that comes up, I can really relate to this, by the way, because now that I'm actually hosting a workshop, it's going to be on the divine feminine and slowing down, which feels very aligned this holiday season. I really want to get women together to slow down and not just do and go. So, but then that also comes with fear, because what if I'm not good enough? What if they're not going to like me? And that is very much my wound, that I want people to like me all the time, which is, I'm working on that. So how I deal with that is I really like to journal. I like to journal why I'm doing this, why I want women to experience this. And that way everything is kind of just out on paper, and I get to see, well, it's okay if I make a mistake. It's okay if it's not going to be perfect. I know how to do this. And what also really helps for me, and I feel the fear, I think I should do a whole separate video on this. But what also helps for me is that any desires that you have that feel very good to you and that feel very expansive to you, they are here for you to experience. So you already know that you want it. You already know how to do it, because otherwise you wouldn't. Maybe you have to learn a few new things, right? But they are here for a reason. So maybe that fear is a beautiful reminder of, yes, this is what I'm here to do, and now I'm being called to expand. Does that make sense? Like, that fear is here for a reason, for you to step up higher, deeper. But Vita, if you have anything to add, I would love to hear it. This is a very extensive topic, I feel. Okay, so I also wanted to mention Jupiter is transitioning out of Scorpio and moving into Sagittarius tomorrow. And Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. So it has been in Scorpio for a little bit over a year. So now it's going to be in Sagittarius for I believe almost a year. It feels very at home there. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion. So with this powerful new moon, it may feel very expansive to you to actually set those intentions and put yourself out there more. Because it's like Jupiter kind of has your back, but of course it also depends on your unique chart. And then the last thing is open yourself up to receive, right? Both receive those steps to get you closer, but also these little moments that show you it's already happening for you. Like, celebrate those and acknowledge those, and open yourself up to receive that you're doing this one step at a time. So that's how powerful you are. Vita says, I'm leading a workshop today and I'm feeling my nerves. Oh, what's your workshop on? But I already know you're amazing, so you can do it. And I think use our nervousness with it deeper, you may actually be really excited too. So I'm going to wait a little bit to see if you reply, but I'm keep on getting the low network connection, so I'm probably going to stop. Yeah, see, you are very excited, but yeah, I can relate to that. You're also feeling nervous. Yeah. Okay, I'm getting that message again. Vita says, for me, it's really all about being present. Yeah. How do you witness yourself through the fear, through the nervousness, through the excitement, right? How aware are you, and how is it a call to love yourself deeper, to be more gentle with yourself? It may also be a very powerful question to ask. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop this because I don't even know if it's working anymore, because it keeps on saying low network connection. So I am going to let you go, and I would love to hear what you are doing for the Scorpio new moon, what your intentions are. And if you are watching this outside of this circle, then I invite you into the Moon Goddess Temple. If you're watching this outside of Facebook, you can find us on Facebook, Moon Goddess Temple. And I would love to welcome you in there. And for now, many, many blessings and much love.